argue with me that when I don't have debt, that for some reason my life should be is shitty. Those person, those people, if they do that to you, their life is shitty and they've got debt. And then they're scared because they don't know how to get out of that misery. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, there it is. All right, the stream popped up finally. I hope that 5 minutes didn't go away. Oh well. Yeah, all right. It might show up later as this thing uploads, but I just talked for 5 minutes and now it's telling me I'm only live for the last 30 seconds. That's okay. It's okay. I might just start recording these things and getting a website because, YouTube and stuff doesn't like truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth because the truth does set you free, folks. It really does. And the truth is, you don't want to be in debt to anybody, family, friends, the government, banks, a loan shark. You don't want to be in debt. And nobody teaches anybody, especially where I'm from, about anything unless all of a sudden you're interested in money and getting in there. Nobody teaches you how to invest, how to save. My parents didn't. They suck with money. They're a horrible example. I love them. I do. But they weren't good with their money. A lot of these baby boomer generations weren't. And they just fucking, they spiraled. So the arguments that I have about being debt free, and people tell me all the time, like, well, you sir, you don't have this and that. I'm like, I don't care about external things anymore. I have enough. I have everything that I need in this world. I don't need more shit, because more shit and wanting more shit is what got me into financial trouble in the first place. I was in a lot of financial trouble years ago where I just stopped paying credit cards, accumulated a ton of medical debt, and then I just, hidden fear. And I was like, well, okay, whatever. And I was really good about paying bills for a long time until, you get laid off, you start drinking a lot, and then life, you don't know how to deal with these things because there's no set thing to deal with things. So based on my experience, I'm trying to share with you what I went through to help people steer clear of that and see the truth for what it is. Don't get these credit cards and buy shit you don't need with them. I get it. You want to get a house, get a mortgage, but if you plan, get a mortgage if you're going to stay there forever. Otherwise, it is kind of a stupid thing. Then the argument is, well, you get equity in the house. And once you've got equity, you could take out a loan on that and take the equity and repair your house. Dumb fucking decision. Dumb. What you just did is add more debt to that. The money you accumulated that you could have been free of, God forbid the housing market crashes and you do move, you don't have any equity. It's like, dude, think this through a little bit more. A lot of people take that equity in their house and they remodel it, put a roof on, whatever. Or better yet, folks, here's a secret to not being debt free: pay cash. Always. With everything. Save your pennies, pay cash. You need a new roof? Save money until you need that roof. Don't take the equity out on your house. Why? Because let's just say you finally get your house paid for. Let's say you got a $200,000 house, right? You paid your 30-year mortgage off way early. You're ahead of the game. Now, you still got to pay property taxes on that house, so you don't own it. You're still renting that house from the government. That's a fact. Don't pay your property taxes this year and then see what happens, guys. You'll be homeless. You don't own that shit. So you have to get it out of your mind that the things that you do buy with your money are yours. Because at any given time, they're not. If you have debt, you're constantly working to pay off this 30-year mortgage, always working, you're always going to be chasing something. You're always, and it makes you feel like you're accomplished because you chip away a little bit, right? The goal is to pay shit off as quick as possible and not have the debt, any of it, ever. And I've been in debt. Nobody taught me about credit cards or balancing checkbooks or this. I just went into it blindly and I paid a heavy price. So today I pay cash for everything. If I can't buy it, I don't buy it. And if I realize I don't need it and it's a want, you got to separate needs and wants. People are like, well, just make some more money. I'm like, you don't need to make that much money to be pretty happy in this world, because you really got to ask yourself, how much shit is just shit you want and how much of it do you need, right? Separate that. If you can separate a need from want, I guarantee you're going to save yourself a lot of financial trouble, and just, not even just financial trouble. Nothing worse than owing people something, where you owe people money. You got to pay it back. Or maybe you owe them a favor. Tit for tat is a lot in this world. I do something for you, you do something for me. Um, but you're not debt. You're not free, folks. You're not. You're not. Be aware of that. Don't pretend like, oh well, I have this mortgage and I'm a responsible adult. Like, no, yeah, you are. You're paying your bills. But what happens when you don't? All that goes off the way. So everything is on you in this world. Everything. Nobody gives a shit until you're reaching out for help, and then your everything burns and you've got nowhere to go. Then you got to realize how to do that. So try to pay cash. Don't owe any money. I might not have a lot of money. I don't owe shit. That's freedom. Freedom. And you hear about it when people are like, I paid off my credit card. I don't owe anything. You want to know why? Because deep down they know that's freedom. You don't want to be tethered to any institution, person, place, or thing. Money, bank. You don't want to be tethered to a loan. These loans are horrible. You don't need a $30,000, $40,000 car. There's really good cars for under 10 grand. Save up 10 grand and then find out ways to take money, put it, chunks of money that you had, the little you do, and put it towards something. Meet with your banker. My ex-girlfriend, number one banker in the region, and she helps people get out of debt. You have to go to these people who know better that can help you, because you can't do it yourself. You got to ask for help. You have to ask, what can I do to be self-sustaining with my money? You have to find these solutions. If you trust a bank and you have a good banker that's not just looking to get a sale out of you, great. Latch on to them, make them your primary source. A good financial advisor. There's ways you can do it yourself. Money markets. There's a whole ton of things. You have to talk to the people that actually do that. And that's one of the things that I've learned from my own experiences, like my own pride, thinking like, I do know I pay for stuff with cash, this and that, but I know how to make money on my own. I have to go to people who do it, that are going to help me get to my goal of being debt free, because I don't want to owe a debt anymore to anybody. People get real excited. They're like, I bought a house. I'm like, great. And there's this weird idea that obtaining that is some form of ultimate responsibility. And if you don't have that, you're a piece of shit in this world. Like, take yourself outside of America and try to just, mentally travel to other places that don't have the societal things that we do. They don't need mortgages and houses in certain places. They're living fine. They don't understand what this stuff is. They don't know what debt is. They just get up, take care of the people around them, have families, love on each other, and that's it. And work hard. Other than that, no. And it's hard. It's hard to save money, especially if you're working a piece of shit job, and you feel stuck, but you can't feel stuck in that despair. There's ways to get out of that. Know your potential, grow up, find a trade, do something that can make money. Don't get in college debt. That's another big debt to avoid. College debt is just such a big fucking scam, and I've talked about it. Unless you're absolutely 100% sure what you want to do when you go to college, don't go. Like, if you're 100% sure that you want to be a fucking dentist, then fucking go become a dentist. If you're 100% sure you want to be a nurse, then go do it, right? But if you're like, I don't know what I want to do, but I need to go to college. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to find something else that you're good at. There's other ways, a million ways to make money in this world other than just going into debt and earning a paycheck down the road. And don't get me wrong, money helps you, is a tool. Look at money as not the means to everything. Because if you love money and that's your sole goal, you are in love. And that's the root of all evil, hands down. It is. It's not money itself. It's the love of money. And if all you do is love making money, you're already gone. You're a lost soul. You have to use money as a tool to become debt free, a tool that can work for you, a tool that helps you get to that point of not having to worry. Johnny Carson had a good quote. He's like, the only thing that money helps with is not something, I'm paraphrasing, but the fear of money. Now, if you have money, now you don't have to worry about money, something like that. And he's right. Even if you have money, like, okay, now you don't have to worry about it, but life still continues. But being debt free is true freedom. Not owing anyone, anything is as free as you're going to get. Children, free. And then what do you do as soon as you become a teenager? You want to get a fucking credit card and start getting into debt. You want to get a loan for a car, get your name in the loan so you can build that credit score. It's a scam. It's bullshit. I've known too many people in a financial crisis that had to learn that lesson the hard way, lose everything, their house, their car, their marriages, this and that, and then they had to start over. And they have a different perspective. They might be on board with how I am because I've had to start over. So you don't make those same mistakes again. And you don't let anybody drag you in and make you feel like you're less than because you don't have the big house in the fancy suburbs. You know, take that away. It doesn't matter. Are you okay? Are you a decent person? You know, I'm not saying don't make money and have nice things, folks. I'm not saying that. It's fine. What you do with your money is really, that's up to you. I'm letting you know from my own experience that true freedom is to be debt free. No credit cards, no mortgages, no loans, no money to your best friend or family members, nothing. And if you have that and you achieve that, everything else you accumulate with whatever money you do make, you're in the green. But you have to be honest with yourself. Go seek some help financially. Take a chunk of money and just try to make it work for you. Find a way to make that work for you and not just rely on the income you make on a week-to-week basis, you know, because that sucks. You know, you're waiting for your paycheck to come. It's already spent on bills. I got to have my internet. Got to have my Netflix. You got to ask yourself, what can you live without? What's more important? Really, the only things you need are you have to eat, you have to sleep. This stuff that I've got, you know, this, I don't need it. I like doing this to pass on information because too many people are in this chain, literal slaves, debt slaves. Kids getting fresh out of college, you know, you're 22, 23 years old and you got $100,000 out the bat. And now all you're worried about is, I got to pay that off. I need to get a job. Holy shit, I don't have a job. I can't get rid of this loan. That is true slavery. You may not have a chains and you're not working in fields, guys, but that's real slavery because you're working to pay that off. That's slavery. It's not as intense as either film and stories have once told us, but that is slavery. So if you want to be a true free person, the freest people, honestly, are people like myself who don't owe anybody anything. And once you don't, you're free. Now the rest of the world's kind of fun and enjoyable. Now you can be in this world and not of it. Or you can go ahead and, you know, give into the shit and just get all the nice stuff, you know, get your man cave, get your special little Alexis or whatever. But you still don't own it. And here's the thing, like, even if millionaires, what do? They want more money because they're already past the point. You don't need millions of dollars. You need a good chunk to be okay. You know, you don't have to have astronomical amounts, but it does suck if you have nothing and you're a hard worker. And I feel for people who are genuinely hard workers. They just don't make a lot of money. I know a lot of people, fucking hard ass workers. They'll take any job, even if it pays them dog shit. They will fucking take it because they don't just sit back and go, whoa. They work hard. They do deserve that. They deserve more than they have because of the effort they put in, at least to their work ethic. And then there's other people that seem like they're even, you know, even the millionaires working hard to maintain that. They're not sitting on their ass going, just collecting their check. They're making that happen, right? So you got to learn from this stuff. You have to learn from the people that have walked before you. You have to take these wise words to heart and try to apply them to your life, or not. Or you can just burn and learn your lesson like I did. You know, I just got to find a good job. I just got to make a lot of money, guys. As long as my bills are paid. Yeah, as long as the bills are paid, that's I think most people's goal, right? As long as they've got the power's on, they got their electric bill paid, everything's fine. There's food in the fridge, and everybody's okay. And there's enough money to occasionally maybe take a vacation, right? Then you're okay. I think it's the minute, but the fear sometimes when people get low on money, what does that fear come from? I'll tell you where mine used to come from and comes from. It's usually because I fear not getting something I want. I can't just buy that book when I want to, or I just can't spend this on whatever I want to. It's that fear. And the not being able to do it is what irritates me and makes me scared. Because then I think, like, well, I'll never be able to do it one day. But see, that's a mindset. That's an attitude. You can change that attitude. Like, I'm working towards where I want to be. I don't have it right now, but there is one thing that I have to recognize is I am debt free. It's wonderful. I don't owe anybody. I don't have anybody calling me going, you know what, you owe me something. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe anybody shit. Nobody's gonna take my stuff. My car's paid for. And there was a time I was real close to getting my car repossessed because why? I took a loan out. I did not pay for it yet. I missed a couple payments, right? Getting those little cards from the old tow truck drivers saying like, hey, but you got to get 3 months without payments. They can only repo your car after the third month. You can be right the day before. They can't repo your car. There's a little helpful hint. You got 3 months. Don't miss the third payment. You can miss 2. Don't miss 3. But see, even that was keeping me in fear. Well, because then what does it do? It causes more problems, right? Because now you got more fear. If they repo your car, well, how are you going to get to work? How are you going to make money? And then your car's paid for. Now you don't have to worry about that. But now, don't be a slave to the money and the debt. Freedom is debt free. That's the goal. It's not about how much money can you accumulate in the bank just to have a more extravagant lifestyle. It's about being debt free. Free yourself from debt, loans, student loans, bank loans, credit cards, all of that. If you can't pay for something out of your pocket, you don't get it. See, this is the honest talks you have to have. But people don't. They're like, yeah, I want it. And then there's that stupid fucking thing that I just came across my mind as I thought about it recently. People are like, well, you earn whatever you want is worth working for. Yeah, it is. But not the way we're told. Not the way I've been taught. Not the way my parents were taught. Somewhere around the 20th century, late 19th century, we were just, here now we got several generations in and we're seeing the ramifications of this whole like just work hard, build some stuff, worry about things, and forgetting the value of family, community, and working together to build something. Not this individual need for self fulfillment and lusting greed, right? It poisons your mind and makes you unable to see reality until it's too late. And then all you're obsessed about is the love of money. How can I get money for this? Are we going to be able to do that? I need more money to this. I want a bigger house. I want a really nice car. And even if you get these nice external things, let's say you finally get the fucking car of your dreams, right? That feeling is only going to last so long. Then now you have to trump that feeling with something greater than that car. Now you have to fill it in with something bigger. Oh, now I need something else, a bigger, external thing. I got the car. Now what? Well, what are you gonna do now? Again, I've already gotten to live my dream job, so I get to say whatever the fuck I want because I have lived my dream. I walked in those steps. I have felt what it was like to be in my dream. Felt wonderful. But like anything, it's continual work. Debt free is freedom. Don't be so quick to jump on these crazy more. Oh, I got 4% on my mortgage. Great. You still don't own that house even after it's paid for. Unless you plan on living there for your entire life. But most people don't. They're like, oh, I'll sell it and they get their money back. And you're just playing around. You're just trading the money you have for other stuff. And I'm not saying that always. Some people are really smart. Some people do that. They buy the house, they take the money. My girlfriend's aunt, for example, she's very smart. She owned a business, and people were like, why don't you take the equity out, get a loan, fix some stuff? She's like, nope, I'll just pay for that myself. And then when she went and sold her house, she actually made money on it, took that money, was able to reinvest it in stuff because she didn't listen to stupid people who are like, oh, don't you want more things? No, you don't need more things. And I think most people who are good with money and stuff like that, they know that. But then there's the people that are hiding behind things that they don't own. They got a big house, but it's not paid for. Driving a Lexus, but it's leased. It's like, come on, guys, be honest with yourself about these things. Don't don't be seduced by the extravagance of fancy shit. Fancy shit doesn't replace the people in your life. Okay. It might bring other people into your life that are maybe sometimes they're great. Maybe they are a good influence or good inspiration. They help you get to where you need to go as far as goals and everything. But then there's some shit people that are like that. They just think like, how can you not want these things? I'm like, because I've had them. I've had them, and when I had them, I didn't appreciate them anyway. I took them for granted, and they still didn't make me happy. That's why. Because I'm not lying to myself thinking like this is going to lead me to the light, because it's not. Relationships with other people, being there for others, being selfless, that leads me to the light. That's very fulfilling to me. Letting go of what I want is fulfilling to me. Knowing what I need instead of what I think I want is very liberating. Knowing that I don't have to do things to please the rest of the world, liberating. Because at the end of the day, it's you, folks. You, your family, the people around you. That's it. Make the best of that. Enjoy your time. Have fun. Be joyful. Be happy. Be free of debt. How do you do that? Seek counsel to people or programs that can help you before you get burned. Young people, if you're young, 17, 18 years old, you're getting a job. If you know what you want to do in college, then go. But if not, there's other ways to make money. Trade schools, they need people. I just found out they stopped teaching trades in my old high school. You don't think there's a reason? I have a theory. That theory is they want robots to do all that shit. Sounds crazy? Well, the robots that they show you that they do have, like the dog opening the door and the jumpy robot that's doing flips and shit, you don't think they could program that thing to knock on your door and be like, hello, I'm here to fix your plumbing? They're trying to replace us with robots. They don't want people doing those honest trades because those people are honest and they tend to be pretty free thinkers instead of lawyers, doctors, and all that other shit that we don't need. There's a lot of things that we do need, folks. They don't teach this in the high school anymore. They're literally robbing kids of hope and dreams by not allowing them to explore. And that's what education is about, I think, is exploring what it is you're good at, exploring your talents, exploring your weaknesses, exploring your strengths, being able to sort that out while you are a child before you begin into this world as a grown adult and then get thrown into the shitter. That you have, and they've taken that away. I remember when I was a kid, you had to take mandatory stuff. When I hit junior high, there was mandatory home economics, mandatory shop class, mandatory music class, and mandatory art. We had to take all of them. But why did they do that? They wanted you to experience that stuff so you can see which avenue you like to go. At least when I was a kid, it was it was still there. Now they've eliminated that. No trades, no woodworking, no shop class, no mechanics. So now you're retarded and you don't even know how to change a tire on your car because somebody else has to do it for you. But now the guy who would do that as a living isn't going to be there in 10, 20 years. Why? There's an underlying evil there. Some other topic for another day. So, right now, be free. Don't take the loans. Don't get sucked in and be seduced by things and stuff. It's okay to have nice things. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know, it's nice to have good looking clothes. You feel good about yourself, but it's temporary. You have to go inside out, man. Be honest with yourself. Explore you in here. How? By getting outside yourself, by helping other people. And this is why I do stuff like these streams. It's not because I think I am a fucking know-it-all. Actually, I admit I know shit. But what I do know from my own experience, the things that worked, the things that I was told were supposed to be leading me to the light, and they didn't, and they just made me fucking miserable. Miserable. To the point where I had to change something, so I changed my entire attitude, which is really fucking hard to do in today's world. If you can change your perception on something, you have so much more power than you just you have the power. You want to change the world? Starts with you. Individuals have so much power, and the powers that be know that all you need to do is get a couple of them to break away from the old herd, and you've got yourself a serious problem for those who want control, because the truth hurts. The truth is out there. The truth is you're a slave to your own self, your own desires, your own wants. You're a slave to them. So you have to learn to let go of the things that are keeping you enslaved. Debt's one of them. Financial debt, favors, student debt, debt period. Financial one's probably the biggest, you know, because we gotta have money, man. But we have to have money. How will we deal with this world without money? We don't need money because we just are programmed. We think we need money. It's not a real thing. It doesn't even exist. It's printed. It's just as much as they want. It's control and power are the real goals for mankind, for most people. And when you have a ton of debt that you need to pay, you're under control. You have a mortgage, you're under control. Why? Because you have a debt to pay for that house. If you don't pay it, you don't have a home. You don't get to have the big TVs or the holiday parties with family or the birthday parties for the kids, or you don't get to have that. So you have to work that way. And people are programmed like this. It's like such a right to work. You should feel privileged. I'm like, no. The only thing I feel privileged about is I'm very aware of these debt slave tactics, and I'm very, very, very grateful to be rid of them. You can do it too. Don't live in fear. You'll be okay. Be honest with yourself and just try to take money. And if you get a chunk of money somewhere just falls out of the sky, don't be fucking stupid with it and spend it on dumb shit that you don't need. Take it, make it work for you. Put it somewhere where it's gonna, so you could have it create more money so you don't have to worry about money. And I've done frivolous spending, guys. You know, I've wasted money on dumb shit in my years, and you know, most people make fun of me because I collect action figures. But you know, there's other money's not just you know the paper and the credit. It's also assets. You have assets in this world. You accumulate assets through stuff. Your car, if it's paid for, is now an asset. So say your car's worth 2 grand, you're worth 2 grand because you have a $2,000 asset. See, this is shit that was not taught to me when I was a teenager. And it's being taught even less, if not at all. And I know too many people my age. I'm 35 in my mid 30s, and my generation, we got fucking burned. So many people bought into these ideas, and so many people fucking learned a hard lesson. You know what they did? After they learned the hard lesson, they did a lot what I do. They retreat into what's valuable: family, community, relationships, and something greater than yourself. That's it. When you become debt free, you owe no money, nobody any favors. That's as free as you're ever going to be in this world. It's not about when you have 100 grand in the bank or $1 million or your house is paid for. When you have zero debt of any kind, you're free. And if you are, don't think the answer is getting debt to get you to freedom, because it won't. It just won't. It's enough for today. Talk to people, learn about this stuff, educate yourself. Always educate yourself because the schools are done. I saw a post today of a friend on Facebook. She was really mad because her daughter, there was a kid in school who was saying some really young kids saying some stuff about you're gay and this and that. And you want to know what they're teaching your kids in public school? You should really look into that, folks. Don't trust it. It's up to you to protect your family if you have children, not the school, not the government, not the world. It's up to fucking you. You decided to have children, you fucking step up and protect. So look into that shit. And you know, this girl, I used to work with her. I have to admit, what she was in the right with what she's doing. She went to school to complain to the teacher that this is some bullshit and what are you teaching my kids? And that's exactly what you should do is when you hear stuff about sexual things or that with your children in school, what they're teaching. You get in there, you start fucking with their curriculum, and this is one person going to ruffle the feathers. Ruffle the feathers, folks. Because if you don't, you're consenting to evil bullshit. And then you're going to wonder why in 10, 20 years when your kid grows up, they're really fucked up. It's because you didn't protect them when you needed to. That's on you. We'll talk about that in another stream. So I'm really happy that she has the balls to go in there and say this is wrong. You have to stand up for this stuff. You can't let other people do it for you. You have to take this power. That's why individuals have more power than you realize. You can stand up to institutions and things like this, but you have to just get in there. Don't worry about the social fucking shaming. It's so stupid. Well, who cares? Take it away. You're nothing. Nothing. If you identify yourself through your social status or means, you're nothing. Not in my eyes, anyway. So God bless that girl for doing the right thing for her kid and not consenting to bullshit, evil lies, and nonsense. She won't be a slave because she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, being a mother, protecting her child from evil shit and things that will harm them. It's not just about, you know, being killed or anything like that. There's other things in the long term that harm your mind. Become aware of this stuff, folks. It's there and you can't be shocked. It's pretty obvious today. And if you're letting it happen, you're part of the problem. That means you're aware of it and you are the problem. And you're just as shitty as the people that push this stuff. So don't be a debt. Be free of debt. And when you are, you will achieve actual freedom. Freedom. And never let anybody convince you otherwise that you need shit. And that's what your main goal in life is, because it's not. Helping other people is the goal. Caring for one another, loving yourself, that is the goal. Family, community, goal. Don't take yourself too seriously.